Secretary Pete Hegseth has abruptly summoned hundreds of generals and admirals to a base in Northern Virginia for a meeting next week. A Pentagon spokesman confirms that Hegseth will be addressing his senior military leaders on Tuesday. The order does not offer a reason for the gathering. It comes on the heels of several controversial actions by Hegseth. They do include ordering the military to cut 20% of its four-star generals, along with the firing of the Navy's top officer and the Air Force's second highest-ranking officer earlier this year. President Trump met with Turkey's president at the White House. Turkey is looking to end sanctions, blocking it from buying U.S. fighter jets. The two-hour meeting began with President Trump offering hope that the U.S. might lift the ban. During his first term, Trump removed Turkey from the U.S.'s F-35 fighter jet program after it purchased an air defense system from Russia. Well, today, Trump stressed that Turkey should stop purchasing oil from Russia as its war with Ukraine continues.
The best thing he could do is not buy oil and gas from Russia. But Russia spent millions and millions of dollars in bombs, missiles, ammunition, and lives, their lives, and they've gained virtually no land. I think it's time to stop. I really do.
In an interview earlier this week, the Turkish president shared a grim outlook on the Russia-Ukraine war, saying he did not believe there would be an end to the conflict anytime soon. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is scheduled to speak tomorrow before the United Nations General Assembly. This as Israel's military is pushing on with its offensive against Hamas with Gaza, as Israel is facing more diplomatic blowback from other countries. Fox's Trey Yinks reports from Tel Aviv.
Black smoke rises from the Yemeni capital of Sana'a after Israel struck the Houthi stronghold. The latest bombardment came 24 hours after an explosive drone targeted the southern Israeli city of Eilat, injuring more than 20 people.
Within the framework of responding to the Israeli aggression against our country, the Yemeni Armed Forces Air Force carried out a qualitative military operation with 2 drones targeting an Israeli enemy target.
As direct conflict against Houthi rebels continues, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu left overnight for the United Nations. He'll address the UN General Assembly on Friday, with an update expected on his country's multi-front war, before heading to the White House on Monday to meet with President Trump about ending the fighting in Gaza.
In Washington, I will meet for the 4th time with President Trump and discuss with him the great opportunities that our victories have brought, and also our need to complete the goals of the war, to return all our hostages, to defeat Hamas, and to expand the circle of peace.
The bilateral meeting will be the first since Israel launched strikes against Hamas in Qatar, something President Trump said he was very unhappy about. Netanyahu's visit to Washington is scheduled amid the backdrop of at least 10 new countries, including the UK, Canada, and France, formally recognizing a Palestinian state this month. Palestinian civilians hope the decisions will speed up an end to the war.
The formal recognition of the state of Palestine by multiple countries may mark the starting point for ending the war, and the beginning of the end to the tragedy endured by the Palestinian people, particularly those in the Gaza Strip.
Israeli officials have rejected the recognition of Palestine, calling it a reward for terrorism. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Millions of utility customers across the state of California can expect credits on their bills this month as part of the California Climate Credit Program. Electric bills see credits every April and October. The credits stem from money raised from taxes on large polluters. This week, the governor signed a bill extending the program through 2045. The state says PG&E customers can see a $58 credit on their bills this month. The state says total payments in October will exceed $700 million for residential customers across the state. Coming up.